from Grantham University in Business Administration and Roosevelt University in Event Planning and Tourism Management. I typically would know what I have to say about somebody, but she has so much good stuff, I don't want to just skim over it. I want to make sure that I read it so I don't forget anything. She has served worldwide as an Army Human Resources Warrant Officer with several deployments. While in the Army, Melissa was awarded the Douglas MacArthur Leadership Award, the Morale Award for Recruiting, the Army Human Resources Instructor of the Year, and has over 20 other military awards and decorations. Her book, Army Strong Women, represents the untold stories of countless women who have served our country in a military position and the challenges, the prejudices, and opportunities women face undertaking a military career. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Melissa currently co-hosts alongside her husband Andre Contemporary Living with Farmer and Hill on Comcast Public Access Channel 19, where she advocates and educates for fitness, health, women's empowerment, and financial literacy.
Yes, yes.
Please help me welcome to the stage our sister, Melissa Farmer Hill.
Go red, go red, go red, go black.
You all can do better than that.
Everything.
Mine.
First of all, let me just say I am blessed beyond measure to be here.
Mine. So am I.
I am so glad to be able to share this time and this space with you.
Yes.
And just to talk about a little bit about me.
Yes.
All right. Well, you've already heard my bio, but I'm just going to go into it a little bit deeper because one of the things that's really been on my mind and one of the things that I've been meditating on are the choices that we have. And that's what I want you to think about for your life. The choices that we have. I grew up in Chicago, South Side, 47th and King Drive, and I made a choice. I wanted to see something different.
Yes, yes.
I wanted to do something different.
Yes, yes.
I wanted to be a part of something bigger than what was being presented to me in the 80s and 90s on 47th and King Drive.
Come on.
So I decided to join the active Army where I stayed for 20 years.
All right.
And while I was while I was in the Army, I met some wonderful people. First of all, let me tell you, I love all my brothers and sisters, and I love my husband, but I'm all about that girl power. So if you're a girl, just say all right. I'm really all about that girl power. Because I had mentors, women mentors who pushed me beyond the level that I even knew that I could go. And I always have to think about Sandra Hightower Smith because she was my supervisor, or if you're in the military, she was my NCOIC. And I just wanted to stay back in the cut, just, go along to get along, but she pulled me to the forefront. And I always thought that she was picking on me.
Come on.
But now in hindsight, 20 plus years later,
Yes.
I realized
Yes.
what she did for me in my career.
Yes.
Because when I wanted to stay in the back, she pulled me to the front.
Beautiful.
And that enabled me to go to boards. Now, board, if you're in the military, you know what a promotion board is and things like that. Is where you have to sit in front of people.
Right.
You have to answer questions about the military.
Right.
And you just have to do a lot of different things. But it taught me to compete,
Yes.
to become competitive,
Yes.
to want more, to want to win. So I went from board to board to board. And from that, I got promotion from promotion to promotion. And it's such a blessing that you have mentors in your life. You need a mentor. And I think that no matter what age, you need a mentor to take you to that next level.
All of us.
Now, while I was in the Army, I did something called a fast track. Breathe. Fast track is when you accelerate in your promotion.
Okay.
So within 5 years of being on active duty, I was promoted or selected because it's another competitive board. I was selected to become a warrant officer in human resources.
All right.
And why did I want to do that? It was a choice. I saw what my warrant officer, who basically ran all of the operations, we're in administration, human resources.
Okay.
I saw what she did, and I'm like, I wonder if I could do that. It started with a question.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seemed to me that she knew everything.
Yes.
And so then I said, I want to do that. So
Yes.
it became a desire inside me.
Yes.
And I wasn't qualified to do it, but what I did, I made my little task list.
Yes.
Here are the things I need to do in order to become what she's become. And guess what I did? I checked off everything on that task list, and I was promoted to warrant officer.
Yes.
So
Bravo.
thank you. Thank you so much. And there were struggles along the way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a woman. I'm a black woman.
Beautiful
In a
black
male-dominated
woman. Beautiful black
environment.
woman.
But you can't let those things stop you. You're going to have people that, well, I don't like you because you're my supervisor and you're a woman. So you there are always going to be competition. And that was my experience, and that's what I ran up against. But one thing I didn't listen to were the naysayers.
Right.
So once I became a warrant officer, I made another choice.
Testify.
I said, I don't want to be like a regular warrant officer. I want to do some different things. I really want to get this experience since I'm going to be here for 20 years.
All right.
So when I redeployed back from Iraq, there was an opening at the schoolhouse. And our schoolhouse is in Columbia, South Carolina, a place called Fort Jackson, South Carolina, for the Army installation. And so I applied. I sent up my resume. I did the interviews because I wanted to be able to teach what I had learned from my deployment. I wanted to be able to teach what I had learned being a part of the 101st Airborne Division. I wanted to teach everything that I had learned. And guess what? That choice got me that job. So I became an instructor.
Beautiful.
But wait, there's more. Because I'm talking about choices here, and it's not just a choice that I made. These are choices that you can make for your life. Because what happens is that that desire becomes that expectation.
Yes.
And it just keeps on rolling on. It's amazing how when you actually put yourself to work, what you can accomplish and what you will accomplish. So not only that, once I became a warrant officer and then I became an instructor, there was a wall in the schoolhouse at South Carolina. And I was like, I wonder what that wall is. Who are those people on that wall? And these were the people that became instructors of the year. These were the best of the best of the best.
All right.
For that year, Army-wide, competitively. And guess what? I worked my tail off.
Yes.
I made sure I mentored. I made sure that every warrant officer coming through that class was equipped to be a warrant officer out in the field, was equipped to be a warrant officer in Iraq, Afghanistan, no matter where you may be. I wanted to make sure they understood every system and they had the leadership tools in order to grow, in order to do what I did, because it just keeps going on. Each one teach one.
Yes. Amen.
And so that work paid off.
Yes.
Because in 2008,
Testify.
I became the Army Warrant Officer Instructor of the Year.
Testify.
And that wasn't, I just wondered when I first got there, I just wondered, well, what did they do on that wall? But it didn't come without sacrifice.
Yes.
It didn't come without hard work.
Yes.
It didn't come without reading,
Yes.
learning your regulations, knowing what's in there to protect our soldiers.
Yes. Testify.
Exactly. Blood, sweat, and tears. It takes a lot more because everyone in the military, and by the way, less than 1% of people in the Army actually less than 1% of the United States actually serve. So I'm proud to be a part of that small little contingent that is actually serving, because it's an amazing thing. Because what happens is you become something, a greater part of, it becomes more than just about you.
Yes.
And that's what life should be. It should be more than about you. The rewards and everything that you receive, that's just a byproduct of what you put out. That's a byproduct of your work. It's a byproduct of your sacrifice. So those are things that I'm proud of and I can talk about, but it did not come without the blood, sweat, and tears.
Right.
And we all know everything you do, it requires that if you want to be successful
Right.
at it. So after that, I wanted to do something different.
Yes.
Because the warrant officers don't get to have the career that I have been blessed
Yes.
to have. And not a whole lot of them are able to do what I've been able to do. So I said, you know what can I do next?
Right.
So then, had to apply, of course, had to interview, had to send my resume,
Yes.
and
Moving on up.
then I was sent to Kentucky, Fort Knox, Kentucky,
Yeah.
to become the warrant officer in charge of recruiting. So now that I taught them,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go get them.
Yay.
I'm gonna go get them. So what a warrant officer recruiter is, it's an in-service recruiter. And
Okay.
just let you know what a warrant officer is. So you have your enlisted, you have your officers that become generals.
Okay.
So the warrant officers are the technicians. So
Okay.
we are specialists in whatever field we have.
Beautiful.
Whereas you have someone that rises to the rank of colonel or general or
Beautiful.
and things like that. So they command, their span of scope is much wider than a warrant officer. A warrant officer is an officer, but we have a specialized field.
Okay.
So I know that when I made this choice, I would have
Okay.
to stay in human resources for 20 years, for the rest of my career. And I love working with people, I love helping people, so it just worked for me. But now I get to go out and I get to talk to people who want to become warrant officers. They
Beautiful.
want to do what I do. They want to be the
Beautiful.
aviators. They want to be the engineers. They want
Yes.
to be in human resources. They want to do that. So, blood, sweat, and tears. I
Yes.
like that. That enabled me because I was in charge of a team, and our team was responsible for, making that quota.
Okay.
We need more people in this field. We need more people in that field.
Right.
And so what that enabled for me to do is not just meet the quota, but go beyond the quota. And
Beautiful.
that's why I was able to get
Beautiful
the
black
Morrell
woman.
Ring
Beautiful
Award.
black woman. Go
And I'm so
girl, go
proud
girl.
of that because you travel and you
Yes.
meet so many different people from different
Yes.
walks of life.
Yes.
And after that, I'm like, okay. Is there anything else for me to do? I don't think there's anything else for me to do. But wait. There was.
Work
And it was
on
my
girl.
last assignment. Well,
Work
not my
on
last
it, go.
assignment, but my last major assignment. I had the opportunity in my last year, well, the year before I retired, for about 2.5 years, to actually work in the Pentagon
Beautiful.
for the Secretary of the Army.
Beautiful.
And I will tell you,
Beautiful.
that was a capstone. I mean, you
Beautiful.
can't, it doesn't get better than that. You got you're at the Pentagon and you got your own office and you got your own parking space. That's big time.
Beautiful.
I'm just saying.
Your name.
I don't know if you've ever been to the Pentagon
Your
in
name.
DC,
Work,
but
black
that's
woman.
big time. And
Beautiful.
me
Yeah.
from 48th and King Drive,
Yeah.
have been blessed
Yeah.
to see this.
Hallelujah.
To have been blessed to do
Yeah.
this. I am in awe of what God has enabled
Brag
us to
on
do
him.
and the
Brag on
powers
him.
that He has given us
Amen.
because it's
Brag on
amazing when we
Jesus.
use them.
Yeah.
And so now, I'm retired.
So am I.
So what do I do now? Now I'm starting all over again.
Excited for
So
you.
one of the things I did not mention, but I'm going to mention briefly before I end here, is the book. Why did I write the book? My book is titled Army Strong Women, and I will be in the back selling my book. Why did I write the book? I wrote the book because every time I was out in my uniform,
Okay.
I would get a young girl, young teenage girl saying,
Okay.
You're in the Army? Well, what's the Army like? And I'm at the counter checking out, so I really don't have time to tell you.
Right.
But wherever there's a gap, and
Yes.
you know what that gap is, it is your job to fill that gap.
Amen.
You have to fulfill needs.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, maybe I could write about this.
Yes, yes.
So what I did is, I may look a little comfortable on the stage, but I love when I'm behind and I'm writing. That's my favorite place to be in all
All right, all right.
outside of being with my husband.
Put that in there.
But right. but I said, let me answer that question. So I didn't make the book about me.
Right.
What I did, I talked to over 30 different women. All the things that they had to go through while they were in the military. How did they advance or how did they not advance? Why did they get out? I wanted a teenager to just be able to take this book and identify with some woman in the book or some part of the woman in the book. To say, you know what? I've been thinking about a career in the military. I had this same situation because we're all different. Oh my goodness. This book has taught me we're all different, but we're all the same. We're all the same. And what the book said, what the book really entails is what women go through, what was that pivotal moment when she joined, and what advice could she give for someone else who was joining. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about the book, but I'll end with this now. My husband and I have a Comcast show, Channel 19, Thursdays at 9 p.m. called Contemporary Living with Farmer and Hill because I am an advocate for fitness. I am an advocate for finance. My husband does real estate and leasing, and we both love to travel. Beautiful. So we decided to take our passions and use them in any way we can. And so that's where I am in my journey, and I am so glad to Don just for introducing me to this wonderful world that I had no idea about. And I'm just so blessed and happy to be here. I thank you for having me. And don't forget about what I said. We all have a choice.
We love you.
So what choices are you making? What choices are you going to make? That's really something to think about because everyone can make a difference in the life of someone. All right? Thank you so much. Woo!